Hi, just gonna do another video here on a bit of stair work. So I've just set up this. I did a short video on just setting up this thread and changing the carrier. So as we can see, the bottom, you can see the bottom is protruding through. So if we go into this, just give it a second, and step general, we'll do the same thing I did before. I'll just take a little screenshot of this. So I used the snipping tool, and I didn't really want to get in my connection vault, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to keep this to one side, so I have these values here, and then we can come in here, and I have saved this, but I should have fixed this bottom step first. So what I'm going to do is go to a front view here, so you can see where our error is. And go to the outside box, sorry, double click, and it'll come up with the same box. Right now our other steps are proper. These are the carriers we get made, so I work the angle. These is a special part, but these are actually two parts, even though they're really one part. It's just a bent angle. But let's just see. So down here, we're going to go to step bottom, same as other steps. So for the next landing, we will possibly use this, so you can see there the angle is correct. Just switch it back, so just go into the type, and then you can also see that this thread is smaller than the other ones. So let's just put in the values that we had before. So this is going to be 12. So what I'll do is I'll put in all the values as before, and then I'll just change them so you can see. 29 30 seconds, bending radius 1.8. This is going to be 98.3 and 81.7, and then the top leg, yeah, the top leg is good at that. That's that 8 here. I can actually make that probably a better value than if I do 1 inch. It gives me a little more room to get in here. So what I want to do is, now I've set that bottom value, so let's go to the top value. I'll go back here and step general, sorry. We'll change this also to 1. So that has changed these ones back. So you can see if I change it to 2. So the reason I'm making this short, 1 might even be too long, is you need a nose in here, but I also need to be able to get in to weld this here. So my guys will put the screws in, and then they will reach in here and weld this from the front. So the welds here will be hidden underneath the concrete, and any other welds will be below the stairs. And alright, so go back to our bottom step, and we can see, let's have a look at this. So if we go and change this to, we can change the length of the thread. So let's just say you put in a 6, right? So that's not really what we want either, right? So if I change that to a 0, what happens? It gets rid of that altogether. So that's gone now altogether, and now this is my ground level. So 4, if I change this to a 6, you can see now we're getting this pan where we want it to be. Now it's still going to be below the floor there a little bit, so you can work these values whatever way you want. Generally I'll leave a small space here. So 7/8 wouldn't be enough. So maybe 3/4, and we'll see where we end up. 3/4 is probably good for me. Now you could leave it a little long and they could just have to cut it, but it looks shitty. So alright, yeah, so leave it at 3/4 for me. You might be different. I'll leave that at 3/4, and there you go, and there's your stairs, right? So now I want to save this, so go back into your joint. Now the funny thing, maybe somebody can tell me, if I go into the library and save this, right, I'm going to save these values, I'm going to edit. Now I previously saved this one here, so what I'm just going to do is I'll just copy that text, and then I'll delete that 22,019. Okay, and then do OK, and now that's saved. You can see it updating. So then we'll come back in here and we'll do stairs, and we'll right click, and I want to put it here, and I want to put the top of it up here, and then right click again. That'll put the stairs in. Now the problem is, whatever I'm doing wrong, I think it's something I'm doing wrong, it's not bringing in the value of the width of the stairs, right? So that's not really a huge concern. Now I didn't change it yet, so hold on. So let me go to my library. I'm down here, Petco North, and you can see it will change all of these, and that's good. So the width is the problem, right? So step general, stringer distance, this was 4 feet. This has not been confirmed yet, so I'm just putting it in as 4 feet for now. So we can see on the bottom one we wanted a top landing, and on the top one we need a bottom landing. I actually don't think I need, let me see. Sorry, it's early. I do need a top. Yeah, I'll probably put it myself though. Alright, so this top, they actually don't want a top step. So what you'll do with this is, now you'll come in here and you'll do landings. Now when I set up the bottom one, I set it up to have the proper stringer sizes for the bottom and the top landing. So let's create front and rear, and we can see my offset is incorrect for the bottom. So bottom landing, and we'll set that to 2 inches also. So I should have saved that in the original, in the first one, but as you can see it doesn't really matter. So then go to step bottom, step the same, no, but I'm going to go into this step that I just created a couple of minutes ago, and instead of having this value here as 0, this was I changed that to 6, so that was 8, and this was, I can make this back to 12, but now this needs to be back to the original value, which was 8 and 29 30 seconds. So if you go back and go to step general, you can see 8 and 29 30 seconds. So the only thing we need to do now is remove this on the front here, because we don't want this, right? So I'm going to make it, we'll have a thread made that's flat. Now it depends what way your client wants to do this, right? So I'm going to go to this 3 value at the front, change it to 0, and now that removes that front. So now we're good. We can just get another piece of plate here with some angle on the bottom of it to straighten it up, and that would carry the concrete. So up here, let's see, let's change this. No, I won't change it because it's going to make this disappear. But what I'm going to do is do step top, same as other steps. Now do want it to be the same as other steps, but I don't want this to be the top step. So you gotta go to landings and bottom landing and go to the second one, so bottom landing here, and then create first thread. For some reason it's not. That thread should disappear. That strangely, this value, this thread should be in, and then when I do this thread should disappear. So I'm not sure what's going on there. That's a little strange. Something I'm doing wrong, I'm sure. So anyway, there's your stairs. I'm actually going to remove that top step. It doesn't look like it's that's strange. I'm just going to recreate it and see what happens, because that step should disappear. Because if I come down to this bottom one, let me check on the bottom one. If I open this bottom one, and if I go to landing, bottom landing, oh, hold on, I was doing the bottom, right? Moron. Alright, yeah, a bit early in the morning, sorry. So it's the top, obviously. Good. So so top landing here, this one, sorry, and then remove the step. Alright, so now also I want this to come down here, so top landing, offset 2 inches. I want it to be 2 inches above this, so I'm gonna go down like 8 inches or something like that. So or sorry, I need it to come down, so I need it to be -6. So that's not the exact value, it's a little higher than that, but I need it to be in around there. So, you know, if you want to get the exact value, I guess the best way to do it is we'll just draw a line up here 2 inches. Now you could just check your run and your rise, which is probably the best way to do it, but I'll just do it this way quickly. And we can see that this is 1 and 5/30 seconds. 1 and 5/30 seconds, and go back to landing. 1 and 5/30 seconds. It's going to be 4 and 27/30 seconds, I believe. And there you go. And that's where your stairs is going to be. And this is the stairs. Let me have a look at the drawing quickly. It's here in front of me. Yeah, so I just need to add a pan on the top here. So maybe I would probably just add a pan manually, just copy one of these and cut it. So you can always just copy something like this, and then you could just cut it off here. It's probably not the best way to do it. You could probably just recreate the pan. If I have a look, let's just have a look quickly, I guess. Advanced joint properties. If I go to landing, and let's say we put this top back in. So let's put this top back in, and let's go to step top, same as the others. I don't want it to be the same as the others. So let's just see the values are the same, so that's good. So if I change this back leg to 0, the problem is it moves the whole thing up. So that's where you're going to have an issue with doing it that way. It works for the bottom step, but I don't think it works for the top step, as far as I know. So the other way would be a way to do it, or probably better to just draw a line. You could just draw 2 lines here. So There's a couple of ways to do it, so you could, I might as well run through the 2 ways to do it. So if I draw this line, you can see these are clashing slightly, which is fine. For me it's fine anyway, maybe for you it's not. If I make this step any smaller, there's too much of a gap there, so I choose to have it clashing a little bit. So let's go back in here to fillet radius 0. Join those 2 and then drag this back here. Now if I copy this, I don't need to copy it, I could just move it, but I'm going to copy it so I have the original line. Copy it up to here and then drag this line back in the X direction to the end of the stairs and then rotate around the X axis and then draw a line from here all the way across in the Z direction. Now that I've rotated UCS, and that doesn't seem to be right. Oh, it is. I was looking at these lines. Sorry, this is the stringer. All right. Yeah, that's right. So now we're going to come back here to home, and we're going to go here and create a folded beam. You could create a plate and a plate here, but I'm just going to do a folded beam, polyline, center, start, end. And you can see it comes in with a plate here, and justification, we will change it the other way, and the thickness 3/32, and then a radius of 1/8. And there you go. The other way to do it would be to copy, as I did before. So just copy one of these out of the connection, and basically you can now just do a feature on this whatever way you want to do it. Several different ways you can do it, I guess. Now the problem is you're not going to capture all that, right? So you might need to do 2 features, or you might need to do a polyline feature. So if I go here to here to here to here to here, and you should really draw a line out here. Well, you can see if you come in here, you'll miss the corner here. So you can do the line now if you want. This is kind of not how I model, but it's a good way of showing you different ways of doing things. So if I come in here now and do fillet radius 0, this is what I should have done the first time. And then you could swing that point out there. And these can be kind of dragged around like that. You can see we still have a piece here, so it's not perfect. So obviously if you output this now, it's going to have this piece here on the corner, which you don't want, so you can just drag that away out there. And now you have your 2 pans. There's actually 2 there. You can see the radius is slightly different. So I'll delete the one I created manually there, and here's the one that I just cut off the other one. Now you can see my thread is too long, so I'll have to fix this. I'll have to cut this back a little more, because the stairs is hitting in here. So we're going to want to have space there. So let's check from here to here. And that is 7/16. So advanced joint properties. 7/16 plus a ½ inch would be 15/16. So landings, landing top, and I'm going to do 11 1/16. and that's going to be this one here, 11 and 1/16, and that'll be a 1/2 inch gap, and 11 and 1/16 here. Sorry, my properties, and that'll be another 1/2 inch gap there. And then now that you've done this, this has got a little weird up here. Not sure why that feature has gone up there like that. Let's just see what happens if I anyway, it doesn't really matter. Just looks kind of poxy, so you probably want to fix that. So you know what, I'm just going to fix it. This is going to annoy me otherwise. So we've gone to that point, so what I'll do is I'm just going to draw a straight line up from that point. That point is going to come out past that. Straight line up in the Y direction to this corner, and then I'm going to draw a line over this way to here, and I'm going to draw this line to there, sorry, and then I'm going to go from here, this point down. And then I'll fillet those ones again, radius is 0. And then that's going to be where you cut the plate, and then I can drag it over and back. So again, go back to your features, and we'll do the polyline one in case this is not a rectangle, because I'm not sure. It should be. I came straight down, I went straight up, so now let's cut that. And then what we can do then is you can just drag this over and back as you need to. So you can make it a little bigger, a little smaller, and you don't need to do it inside the macro. And now you have that step there. And then you just need to fix down here. So basically what we would do here is probably remove, you're going to remove one of them. So I usually remove the top one. So let's go to advanced joint properties, landing, this bottom landing, create the front, create the rear. Okay, and now you want to get these ones as close as possible to the other ones. So go back into this one, advanced joint properties, and you can measure it. This is a system line thing, so I'll do it this way just to show you. So landings, top landing, and if we put this at 28 inches, that's not enough. So let's do 34 inches. That's getting closer, right? So let's do 34 inches. And the reason I'm doing this is because we can join these. If I come here, we can join these. So now join them and do the same over here. So as you can see, I still have my macros, but I've joined these up. Now if I come in here and do distance, I can go distance between here and this point is 2 inches. So let's go back into the stairs just to clean up your system lines here, and then go to landing, top landing, and 2 foot 10, so it's actually 3 feet and 3 feet, and there you go. So now the only thing you need to do is fix your top ones. So I'm going to select this, and the problem is with the top ones, let's see, it attempts to move that cut back, but then it fixes itself after you get out of the command. So now you can see you're actually have it stairs, but you still have your 2 macros here. So all I need to do now is create a pan in here, I need to copy these up, so I can copy these up using the advanced copy like this. So I'm just going to do them once so you can see include additional connections. Okay, so select this, go to advanced copy, and from the nosing point, and I want one up here at the nosing point. Now the problem will be down here, you probably just need to have an angle here. So now it did not bring the weld with that. It should have brought the weld. Did not bring the weld with that. Now if you can see, that is welded to it, but again these ones did not bring the weld either. So these are going to be all one part, so it doesn't really matter. What I'll do is I'm just going to select the weld objects, add objects, and then I'm just going to add not the stringer, it's already added, and then I'm just going to add these. I like to do this sometimes rather than having a weld symbol for each of them. So, but there's benefits to doing it both ways. So there you go. So now if we select the weld and the part, and then come in here and do advanced copy, and let's select from here to here, preview, select corresponding entity. It doesn't like it, so it's not liking to pick that. So I'll just do the same thing again. We'll just copy these up. Now if you want to copy these up, the best way to do it is use your advanced copy, and we're going to copy from here to here, and I think there is 620. I'm trying to see how many rises there is on the top without having to count it. 21. So I'm going to do 20 copies in that distance there. So it's 11 inch going and 6 and 27 30 seconds rise. And then I'm going to preview, and you can see there's all your steps in. Too many. Modify 19. Because I forgot about the first one. It's a different type of step. And then do OK. And then I would just weld all these to the stringer with one weld symbol, and you can see these are all special parts. So these are bent plates we get made, so that's kind of where you're going with the stairs. I'm sure everybody knows how to do the connections at the bottom and all that, so I won't worry about that. Maybe we'll just do one of them. So let's come in here, anchor stairs at an angle. And do I want to select a reference point? Yes, I do. So I want to select the nose of the stair, and that didn't work because of my UCS, I believe. So come back here, set the UCS to world, and let's go in here and stick it on this ground level where we want it, and then anchor the stair. And yes, I want to select a reference point. And there you go. Now the issue you have here is this bottom thread, this riser, or this carrier is obviously no good. So this might have to be changed, and this angle is on the outside. But as you can see, it's come in with a previous one, which is generally mostly the same. And you can see in the X direction is 2 inches. So I've got 2 inches from the stringer and 2 inches from the front. And if you go in to this, we'll see angle single left. Sorry. And create cut and plate. So the cut's going to be -1 3/4. Because if you do 0, it's going to be right there. So -1.75 plus the 0.25 for the plate is 2 inches. And then you just want to copy that over to from the other side. So select it here, Copy it over to this side, and then I should probably have copied it first, right, because now I'm going to have to switch the angle again, right, but not a big deal. So just go back into advanced joint properties, general, angle, single right. But just be careful when you come in originally. I think the anchors are off, they're screwy, the distances are like weird distances, so just make sure you check that. So you can see it's cut back slightly, and now I can probably cut back this bottom step a little more, right? So if let me check the cut back on these. General, angle, cut back. Half inch could be too much, you know. I'll just do 0.25. And same over here. I'll probably put a bolt from this into the stringer, probably, not sure yet. I'll have to ask the client. So sorry, the cut back 0.25, and then you can just come up here and create a plate. You can if you want to create a plate up here, you're going to put some angles in, so you can set your UCS up here, and then just go to home, and if you go here, it gives you the opportunity to do a plate. So select this point here, and then I'm just going to come over there like that, and it's going to be 30 seconds. We can see that it's good there, and it's good there, and it's hitting on the front, right, which is fine, I don't care. And what you can do then is you can just drag it back in. So you want to get a working point for yourself here. So I'm just going to draw a line. Other people have different ways of doing this, I'm sure. I'm just going to draw a line from here to here, and I'm going to draw a line from here to the center point. Then I'm going to do my fillet radius again, which is I use all the time, and that's your point. So that's where I want my stairs to be, and now I'm just going to drag that back, and because it's a plate, it just drags in the direction you want, and there's your plate. And now if you want to select the plate and put it on the stairs, it's the same color, and you can go to your 3D view, shaded, and you're getting your stairs. I will also model in a piece of concrete here. Yes, a little crazy probably, but I will model in a piece of concrete for if I want to bring this over to Fusion, then I won't have to model it in over there. So you can see my opening is not quite big enough, or I'm not centered, so I can fix that by just dragging the boxes across. But I'm just wondering why it is not centered, because I guess this line that I started with, I copied this line from somewhere else, and I guess it didn't snap to the center point. So 2 foot 4 and 11/16. Alright, so that's okay. Just make sure when you're moving it that you grab the boxes and the internal box as well. Now you have to be in the 2D wireframe mode, so alright, I hope that helps. Alright, take care.